What's the story, Morning Glory? What's the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 6, Episode 28, Houston. Here comes the problem. So let's get started with Kimmy and Maurice. I want to jump into that. So they're at home and Kimmy surprises Maurice with a sex therapist, right? So the sex therapist comes over and she talks to Kimmy alone. She talks to Maurice alone. Kimmy tells her what she's gone through medically, her having cancer, her medical procedures, radiation, all of that stuff that she's gone through, and chemotherapy, everything. And because of that, her libido has suffered. The therapist understood. I understood. Everybody on earth understood, except for Maurice. Maurice keeps talking about how it's all in her head. I don't know what he means by that. I don't know if he's trying to say that, if she, I don't know what he means by that, because anyways, I'm not even going to get into it. So he keeps on talking about how it's, it's all in her head, and he tells the therapist this. I'm thinking, okay, it's one thing to tell your wife that, but you're going to tell a professional that her lack of libido is all in her head, considering what she's been through. So he even tries to compare Kimmy to somebody who has body dysmorphia, somebody who is thin and looks good, but doesn't think that they're thin enough. I don't know what the connection was between what Kimmy is going through and somebody with body dysmorphia, other than I don't know if he's trying to say you have a great libido, you have a great sex drive, you just want to believe that you don't. I guess that's what he's trying to say, which is absolutely ridiculous, because Kimmy seems like the kind of person to me that, if she wants it, she's going to do it. She's not going to deprive herself of something that also makes her happy. So I don't understand why he's saying that. So the therapist listens to them both. She comes up with her diagnosis. She says that both of you communicate very well, but you don't communicate to understand the other person. A lot of therapy mumbo jumbo, and then she gives them an assignment or homework assignment to do for them to better communicate, to understand each other. Okay, fine. The Fletchers. So the Fletchers invite everybody to this cowboy restaurant, and they announce to everyone that they're going to be hosting a trip to Houston. And everybody's, excited about that, but there are issues within the group, obviously. So Kimmy asks Stormy, is she good with the Scotts? And Stormy really is not good with the Scotts. She talks about, so her and Kimmy, they go off and they talk one-on-one. And Stormy tells Kimmy that she's still having issues with Letitia with the whole website situation. She didn't like how when she brought that up to Letitia was very dismissive of it and took no accountability. Letitia did apologize after a meeting. She did say, I'm really sorry that this happened, blah, blah, blah. But according to Stormy, she felt like Letitia did not take any accountability, didn't take any kind of responsibility, and blamed it on her people for Stormy's information showing up on Letitia's website. Y'all, to be honest with you, I kind of believe that Letitia knew and didn't care until it became a big deal online. I think she either knew or that she greenlighted it. I think either she probably told her people to do that, because Stormy's business is extremely successful. And I think the only thing that she copied and pasted was the return information, I think, or something like that. I don't know what it was, but I think she either knew and didn't care, or she probably told her people to do that. I really don't think that this was done without her knowledge, and she didn't know about it until it all blew up on the internet. I think she knew beforehand, and she thought that she could get away with it. That's my personal opinion. So Stormy also felt like the Scotts were disrespectful when they went on their double date. They were an hour and a half late, and of course Marceau showed up with his mouth talking about in your culture, y'all use the B word a lot, and that really pissed off Stormy. So basically she tells Kimmy, no, I'm not good with her. So Kimmy suggested that they have a conversation, and Stormy's like, no, I'm done talking. I'm just over it. So Kimmy says in her confessional that Marceau and Stormy are a lot alike. She said that they both gaslight, they're both condescending, they're passive aggressive, and y'all, I don't see any of that in Stormy. I see Stormy as somebody who reacts, and I think when she reacts, people don't like how she reacts. But I don't see her as being a gaslighter. I don't see her as being condescending. She can be condescending. I take that back. Stormy can be condescending, but it's usually because she's reacting to something else. She's reacting to the energy that the person is bringing to her. Because how is somebody supposed to react with someone like Marceau? I don't understand. But anyways, moving on. So Letitia, oh, by the way, I kind of feel like Stormy, I feel like Letitia and maybe not so much Marcel, but I think that Letitia is a little bit jealous of Stormy's business success because Canvas Beauty and everything else that she does, all her beauty products and all that stuff that she sells, I think she's doing extremely well. I think she is from what I see online. So I think that maybe Letitia might feel kind of jealous or envious of Stormy. We all know that she was always jealous of Melody. And now you have Stormy, who I think her and her husband think that Stormy is some type of country bumpkin. They felt like she really wasn't that smart, didn't have that much business sense. And then when they saw that she actually does, I think Letitia feels some kind of way. Marceau tells Nell and Melody that Stormy should just get over it. But I thought Stormy was trying to get over it when she invited the Scotts to the double date. I thought that was Stormy's attempt to kind of start fresh with them. But who knows? As far as the Houston trip goes, Melody tells Nell that everything's going to be just fine if you just keep Martell the hell away from me. Don't pair me with him on any kind of activities or games. I don't want to be in the same vicinity as him. Put me on the opposite side of the house from him, etc., etc. We get it, Melody. You hate Martell. You hate the sight of Martell. We understand. Then it came time to ride the damn mechanical bull. Y'all, when Nell got on that bull, that absolutely tickled me. She got on that bull and she rode the hell out of that bull. Marceau was thoroughly impressed because in his confessional, he says Chris got him a wild one. He says he gets it now why they've been married for so damn long. And I think this is the reason why cool, calm, and collected Chris Fletcher is with wild, firecracker, crazy as hell Nell, because Nell to me is like a lot of fun. And I think her and Chris are like a great balance. I think they're a really good balance for each other. I think they're just a really cute couple. I like Nell and Chris. I'd rather see them any day instead of the Whitlows. Moving on. So now everybody's arriving in Houston. So, everybody arrives in Houston. Melody once again has to set down her ground rules with the Fletchers. Keep that man away from me and everything will be just fine. When Martell showed up, he greeted Melody. She ignored him. And I'm thinking to myself, Melody, you're giving him way too much energy. I understand that when she tries to be nice to him, he turns it back and he stabs her in the back. I get it. But I think that you can be civil. Because all of this heat that she's bringing, like ignoring him and walking away whenever he walks into a room, all this stuff that she's doing just shows that she is still very much bothered by this man. And I think that it only makes sense that Melody and Martell will have this negative effect on each other because they've been married for so long and have 4 kids together. They've been through so much together. So it's understandable why there's all this heat between them. But Melody, if you really want to make us believe that you are over this man, that you don't really care about him, then just be civil. You know, when he comes in and if he greets me, it's like, hello, Melody. What is wrong with saying hi, Martell? You don't have to hold his hand and, skip down the road with him. You can just be civil and say, hi, Martell. How are you? And just keep it at that. You don't have to do all of this, making your change face whenever he walks in, walking away and all this other stuff. It just shows that you are still very, very bothered. This man still has a major effect on you. Okay, so then Kimmy and Maurice, they're in their room together, and this is where Kimmy brings up Maurice's interview with Carlos King. In that interview, and they showed the clip of it, Maurice said that it's admirable how Kimmy, suffering with cancer, can just roll over and take it. He said that about his wife. Absolutely disrespectful. Marceau, if you want to talk about somebody being disrespectful, it's your damn brother to his wife. I could not believe that he would say that on a public platform, that, it's admirable because she can just roll over and take it. That is so disgusting, Maurice, that you would say that about your damn wife. And the funny thing is that Kimmy, I don't think is that really that bothered. She put on this act like, oh my God, my mother was questioning me. My family heard this. And But then right after that, she gets on the bed with him, straddles him so that they can continue with their little intimacy exercises that the therapist had suggested. Like, she really wasn't bothered by it. I don't think, I think Kimmy is a lot like Letitia. And the fact that they will do whatever it takes to keep these men, okay? I'm trying to keep it cute. They'll do whatever it takes to try to keep these men in their lives because Kimmy, How can you go on with this man after the things that how can he, like, that is just so ugly what he said about you. That is absolutely, look, you know what? I'm giving it more energy than she is. So let me just move on, because she really didn't care. So Maurice was like, oh yeah, I wasn't thinking, I'm so sorry. And Kimmy was like, well, you're gonna have to apologize to my mother too. And he's acting like really regretful and sorrowful, like, oh my god, I shouldn't have said that, I wasn't thinking. Maurice, you have a law degree. Okay, people are coming to you, giving you money. I'm assuming you have clients. People are coming to you, giving you money to represent them in legal issues. And you're going to say something so asinine like that about your own wife on a public platform. I wouldn't ask you to represent me in a traffic ticket, because your logic, your way of thinking has a lot to be desired. And like I said, I can't give it too much energy because Kimmy's fine with it. So I'm going to be fine with it. Moving on to Tisha and Marceau. So Tisha and Marceau, they're in their own room. And Tisha tells her husband how she wasn't feeling well. So she decided to go and take a pregnancy test when she went to the Yanni spa with whoever. Was it Kimmy? I don't even remember. So she took a pregnancy test. And so Marceau was like, well, my first thought would not be that my vasectomy failed if you thought you were pregnant. My first thought would be, I need a blood test. So Tisha was like, you know, what do you mean by that? And he says, like, you know, he's basically saying there's no way that I can get you pregnant. It's just like, it's impossible for that to happen because I had a vasectomy. So Letitia talks about how she knows people whose husbands had vasectomies and they still ended up getting pregnant. And Marceau's response is, well, did they take a blood test? Did the baby look like the husband? So they're trying to feed us this narrative or this storyline that, possibly Letitia stepped out on Marceau, or Marceau believes that Letitia could have stepped out on him. And I'm not here for that. I'm not here for that because I don't believe it. I don't believe that someone as brainwashed as Letitia Scott would cheat on her philandering Neanderthal husband. I just don't think that Letitia would do that. She's one of those women who will suffer every single day of her life to stick by this man's side just to put up the illusion that she's got the best husband, she's got the best marriage, and trying to make women who are not married feel like crap because they don't have a man in their life, because they're not married, because they don't have husbands. So I just don't think that Letitia stepped out on him. I don't think that Marceau believes that Letitia stepped out on him. I don't think Letitia believes that she was even pregnant. She took that damn pregnancy test because Carlos King told her to do it because it's going to make good TV. Bottom line. And I don't got nothing else to say about it. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, please don't forget to rate the video. If you like this content, subscribe to my channel, and I'll definitely talk to you later. Bye.